Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be talking about vaccination in general. So by the end of this video you will be able to understand the meaning of the term and also what's in a vaccine, how it works, the importance and trials involved to make sure it is safe as well as effective. So let's go. We should not confuse vaccination and immunization as meaning the same thing. A vaccination is the act of actually introducing a vaccine into the body to produce immunity to a specific disease, whereas immunization is the process by which a person becomes protected against a disease through the vaccination they have received. According to the World Health Organization, vaccination is a simple, safe and effective way of protecting people, most especially children, against harmful diseases before they actually come into contact with them. It uses the body's natural defenses to build resistance to specific infections and makes the immune system stronger. Now, this vaccine we're talking about is a type of medicine that trains the body's immune system so that it can fight a disease it has not come into contact with before. Vaccines are basically designed to prevent disease rather than treat a disease once it has been caught. In other words, its ultimate goal is prevention rather than cure. Vaccination began in the 18th century with the work of Dr. Edward Jenner and the smallpox vaccine, which was invented in 1796. It was the first to publish evidence that it was effective and to provide advice on its production. Smallpox was a very contagious and deadly disease, causing the death of 20 to 60% of infected adults and over 80% of infected children. When smallpox was finally eradicated in 1980, it had already killed about 300 to 500 million people in the 20th century, which was really alarming. All the ingredients in a vaccine play a vital role in ensuring the vaccine is safe and effective. They are all present in very small quantities and some are not even present in the final product. Vaccine ingredients can look unfamiliar when they are listed on the leaflet. However, we need to understand that many of the components used in vaccines occur naturally in the body, environment, and even in the foods we eat. All of the ingredients in vaccines as well as the antigens are thoroughly tested and monitored to ensure safety. Some of the ingredients in a vaccine include the active ingredient. This is also known as the antigen. This is the biologically active substance that triggers the immune system to act. It can also contain an adjuvant which helps to strengthen and lengthens the immune response to the vaccine. We can also have stabilizers in them which protect the vaccine during storage and transportation, and of course preservatives which helps to reduce microbial growth. We can also have some emulsifiers in them as well as taste improvers. All ingredients can be found in the patient information leaflet and the summary of product characteristic sheets for each vaccine, so ensure you have a look. Now let's look at the active ingredients in a vaccine in more detail. So these are the antigens and other parts made from microorganisms such as viruses in a weakened, live or killed state. It can also be proteins or toxins from the organism. The active ingredient can also be a nucleic acid material, and this works in a different way to other vaccines in that they do not supply the protein antigen to the body. Instead, they provide the genetic instructions of the antigen to cells in the body, and in turn the cells produce the antigen which stimulates an immune response. These active ingredients are present in very tiny quantities. Some vaccines contain all bacteria or virus. In these cases, the bacteria or viruses will either be severely weakened, in other words attenuated, so that they cannot cause the disease in healthy people, or killed altogether, which also means inactivated. Many vaccines contain only part of virus or bacteria, usually proteins or sugar from their surfaces. This stimulate the immune system but cannot cause the disease itself. Vaccines can be divided into a number of different categories, but ultimately work on the same principle to trigger the immune system when it recognizes something foreign to the body. Various ones are displayed for you to see for your own information with some examples of some of them. Now let's look at how the immune system works, as this will help to understand how vaccine works. The immune system is a very complex system involving the release of phagocytes and lymphocytes, but I'm not going to bore you with all those stuff. Also, the immune system can be activated by a lot of different things that the body does not recognize as its own. These foreign substances or invaders are the antigens. Examples of antigens include the proteins on the surfaces of bacteria, fungal, viruses, and toxins. When these antigens attach to special receptors on the immune system cells, a whole series of processes are triggered in the body. Usually, once the body has come into contact with a disease-causing germ for the first time, response is usually slow. It usually stores that information about the germ and how to fight it for next time. So if it comes into contact with the germ again, it recognizes the germ straight away and can start fighting and destroying it much faster compared to the first encounter. Vaccines are a way of artificially activating the immune system to protect against infectious diseases. This is usually called naturally acquired active immunity. Vaccines train the immune system to create antibodies, which are produced by b-lymphocytes, just as it does when it's exposed to a real disease. However, because vaccines contain only killed or weakened forms of germs like viruses or bacteria, they do not cause the disease or put you at risk of its complications. Now we go to the importance of vaccination. From birth, we are constantly exposed to so many different viruses, bacteria, and other microbes in our environment. Many are beneficial, but unfortunately, some can cause diseases. We often develop lifelong immunity when we have had a disease. Vaccine-preventable diseases like measles, meningitis, or polio can be deadly or cause severe illness or disability and several complications such as blindness, deafness, paralysis, birth defects, brain damage, and in some cases death, as we see in COVID-19. The aim of vaccination is therefore to obtain this immunity without any of the risks of having the disease itself. For some diseases, vaccination provides lifelong protection, while for others, the effect is diminished after a few years and boosted doses are often required. Vaccine therefore prevent the spread of contagious, dangerous, and deadly diseases. Immunization through vaccination can save a child's life. Some diseases that once injured or killed thousands of children have been eliminated completely, and others are close to extinction, primarily due to the safe and effectiveness of vaccines. Vaccine-preventable diseases like measles, mumps, and whooping cough are still a threat. An outbreak of preventable disease occurs when many parents decide not to vaccinate their children. So it is very important to get them vaccinated. For newborns, breast milk can help protect against many diseases. However, this immunity wears off after breastfeeding is over, and some children aren't even breastfed at all. So whether children are breastfed or not, vaccine can help protect them from diseases. Vaccination is the most effective method of preventing infectious diseases. Today, there are vaccines available to protect against at least 20 different diseases such as diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis, influenza, also known as flu, and the latest one now is COVID-19. Together, these vaccines save the lives of up to 3 million people each year. Although some diseases may have become uncommon, the germs that cause them continue to thrive in some or all parts of the continent. In today's world, infectious diseases can easily cross borders and infect anyone who is not protected. Remember, not all of these vaccines are needed. Some are only needed when traveling to high-risk areas. When we get vaccinated, we haven't just protected ourselves, but also those around us. Some people, like those who are seriously ill or have allergies, or probably due to their age, are advised not to get certain vaccines. These people depend on the rest of us to get vaccinated and help reduce the spread of disease. For people who are immunocompromised, even a weakened version of the vaccine could harm them. Also, this group of individuals can also experience some degree of vaccine failures. So when a sufficiently large percentage of a population have been vaccinated, it results in herd immunity. Some vaccines are given by injection as they are not absorbed reliably through the intestines, but some are also given orally or sprayed into the nose. Combination vaccines contain vaccines against several diseases in the same syringe, which means fewer injections for the recipient. The combination vaccines result in fewer side effects than when the vaccines are actually given individually. So it's actually better this way, most importantly in children. There are extensive and rigorous processes and tests in place in the production of all medicines, including vaccines. This will help to determine the safety, tolerability, and effectiveness in the wider population. Once marketed, close monitoring continues over a very long time frame to detect any unexpected adverse side effects and to ensure it is protective and safe enough. This is usually carried out by the vaccine manufacturers, scientists, medical experts, WHO, and in the UK, this is done by the Medicines and Healthcare Regulatory Agency, MHRA. Any suspected adverse drug reactions following the use of a vaccine, medicine, or medical device should be reported to the MHRA using the yellow card scheme, and the information will be reviewed, investigated, and appropriate action will be taken. It is important to stress that vaccines are very safe. However, like any other medicine, vaccines can cause mild side effects, for instance, mild fever, sore arm, redness, and tenderness at the injection site. Mild reactions usually go away within a few days on their own, or if needed, you can take some painkillers like paracetamol. Severe or long-lasting side effects are extremely rare. A person is far more likely to be seriously harmed by a disease than by a vaccine. Some other vaccines are currently under development or being piloted at the moment, including those that protect against COVID-19, Ebola, and malaria, but are not yet widely available globally. Others under development are Zika and Nipah viruses. In conclusion, you need to protect yourself, protect your family, protect people around you, and save lives. In my next video, I'll be talking about the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. So please watch out for that. Thank you and God bless you for your time.